Hello and welcome to the Get Creative Podcast, the podcast for creatives by creatives. I'm Evan Schmidt, and my guest today is Tim McLaughlin. He's the president of 321 Blink, a full-service marketing agency based in Aspinwall, Pennsylvania. Hey Tim, thanks for coming on the show. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Excited to be here. So my name is Tim McLaughlin. I'm a president, one of the co-owners of 321 Blink. We are a full-service ad agency located in the advertising capital world, Aspinwall, Pennsylvania. That's where our world headquarters are. And we're a full-service ad agency. We have our own video production company in-house. We are one company, but we definitely have a lot of services that we provide on a video side, as I would say, just outside of our agency work. So a lot of the work we do, frankly, on the video side is with other partner agencies similar to ourselves, but that just don't have the video capabilities. We do print publications for a few local magazines. We ventured into planograms. It's kind of a cool thing that not very traditional agency work, but something that we do and is a neat sidebar for our designers. We have media, digital media, traditional media buyers. So a typical full service agency, and we're digging it.
Nice. So what's something that comes to mind when you think of something really important that you're glad that you learned?
Well, it's funny. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. I've been at this for 27 years, and 321 Blink is 7 years-ish or so. And, even though I had, I would consider somewhat extensive experience in media, it was, when we started the company, we still had to prove ourselves. And, I think a lot of times on the creative side, sometimes people, might turn their nose down at pro bono work or, a project that it might have been with a big company, but maybe there wasn't a lot of budget assigned to a project. And we took it. We did it. We worked, long hours, nights, weekends, whatever we had to do to build our portfolio and establish relationships with people, and some of those clients are most of them are still with us today, and now they respect that we've grown as a company, and, we may not be able to do the things that we did, 5, 6, 7 years ago at the rate that we did, but they're still with us. So we must be doing something right with them.
I love that. Yeah, the relationships, the building that, I had Crystal Nerschel of Cold Spark on the very first episode of the show, and she said, don't be afraid to take the job that you're a little reluctant to do because, the dividends could pay off years down the road, and, you can't be really too good for stuff,
No, absolutely not. And we, without getting into particulars, there's things that we did a couple of years ago, on a get your foot in the door with a couple of places. Again, we treated it as if it were a full-blown paid client, like they were paying whatever. We treated it that way, and we proved ourselves. Which again, after somebody who's been at it as long as I have, and my business partner Tripp, we were like, yeah, we still have to prove ourselves because this was a new venture for us, and fortunately, people responded, and and we've grown proportionately since then.
Yeah. And speaking of growing, tell me about what's going on right now at Blink.
So we're pretty busy right now. We on, I would say, both sides of the fence, as we consider our creative design media side, and then over on the video side. Video side, we have some cool projects that a lot of one-offs, which a lot of times they're kind of tough to manage within your regular recurring client workload. We have a few automotive dealers that are, they're like clockwork every single month, which are nice because that keeps the lights on. But we've got some nice cool video projects that, if folks tune in and check in probably in another 30, 60 days, they'll see some cool things from some big, I would say bigger Pittsburgh-based companies, and maybe some non-traditional uses for video and some singular products. So that's fun. And on the design side, we added a senior creative director and a designer to help us with this publication business that we started doing about 9 months ago, and that's really helped develop that department for us. And we've really taken on some projects in the design realm. Particularly in the web world, some packaging, things like that we really we didn't have the experience to be able to do, and now we do, which is kind of nice. We have our own digital services. A lot of other agencies do as well, but a lot of times in the media buying, you end up brokering stuff out with some of maybe the media partners that you might have, or some of the broadcast affiliates. And we just found it more efficient that we kind of control that ourselves. We have a few partners that are frankly a little bit more competent in that space, and have a little bit more experience in some of the areas. So we definitely partner with them when when a client has an ask that is something that might be beyond what we can initially get to them. So that's always good, because we're always learning, but we're also humble enough here to say, that's just not something that we know real well. So we're going to bring in somebody who's a little bit smarter than us in that space. And the clients, frankly, at least our experiences, they don't care. They trust us. They know that we're going to vet through vendors, and we're going to find somebody who's going to be able to do that stuff for them.
Nice. And where can people keep tabs on you?
So yeah, so we're pretty active. We have a nice internal marketing team and social media. So yeah, the proverbial website on the interwebs, you can get us at the 321blink.com. It's a relatively newer, refreshed site. Yeah, we were guilty ourselves of not particularly taking care of our own marketing. So we got our site up into a pretty good place here recently, and then we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Snapchat, we are on Twitter, and then we actually have a nice little sandwich board sign that we put out in front of our space every day here on Brilliant Avenue in Aspinwall. So anybody who's walking by, they can see some fun little facts that we put out there. And then we also, one of the biggest things that we do is we have a monthly newsletter that kind of highlights our employees, features some of our work, some industry perspective. So that's a really great way that we keep in touch with folks. So if you go to our website, you can sign up for our newsletter.
Well, Tim, thanks for coming on my show today, being patient with me and our scheduling, and getting creative with me.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be on, and I'd love to do it again.
That's it for another episode of Get Creative. You can find more information about my guest in the show notes. Be sure to subscribe so that you get the next episode in your sleep, and please give the show a review. For more information about me, go to evanschmidt.com, follow me on Twitter and LinkedIn, and watch my vlog on YouTube where I share lessons that I've learned. Thank you for listening. Now go get creative.